Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AFRINITY CONNECT. Welcome my brother from another mother, Prince. I want you to please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and tell us where you are currently.
Thank you for having me. It's always a privilege to meet you. My name's Prince KINGSLEY ARIAJEGBE, originally from Nigeria. I'm now based in Canada.
Wow. You're not based in Canada. Prince, I remember the story did not just start today. Both of us have been in the smiling coast of Africa, the Gambia. Like you rightly said, you are now in Canada.
Yeah.
And we're presently reaching you from the United Kingdom, England precisely. Prince, tell us, how was your upbringing like?
Oh, again, I will say thank you for having me here. I'm the luckiest person to be alive today to tell my story. I still remember when I was like 9 years old, I told myself, I want to make sure that I stay to certain age to be able to tell my story to the next generation so that they will know what I've been through. Growing up in Nigeria was not really easy. You took me back to a lot of things that I went through when I was growing up as a child. I'm the only person in my family, full Ariajegbe family, who has not been able to spend one night with my both parents, like my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying? I remember my mom told me she got pregnant with me, how my dad, they were dating in university days or college. At the end of the day, my dad don't want my pregnancy, so my mom wanted it. Then my dad denied me and all that. Then my grandpa, my mother's dad, may his soul rest in peace, he gave me a name I will never forget when I was born. He gave me a name called Ayebelomon, meaning there is nothing more than a child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ayebelomon.
Yeah.
What part of Nigeria are you from?
I'm from Isha, precisely. I was born in Auchi, grew up there, later moved to Benin, So it's a very long story.
Tell us about that name from your granddad.
So I was opportune to talk to my granddad when I was still young. And I can tell you that, do you know that as old as when I was 4 years old, I can still remember everything till date, So my grandpa told me that when my mom got pregnant with me, my dad denied, which my mom also told me.
Yeah. Confirmed.
Exactly. So he told me he was so happy that my mom was pregnant despite it was what they call out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? So that was why when I was born, he gave me Ayebelomon. There is nothing more than a child. So my mom also told me about how my uncle, he's still alive right now, is who I call my dad, that he was interested in me, and my very special person, my grandma, she's still alive. That's from my father's side.
Wow.
Despite my dad don't want to see me, my dad is not really interested in me, but those two people, they were interested in me. So my uncle was the elder brother to my dad, right? So they live in Auchi then. So they will come to see me and all that. It's a very long story. So at the end of the day, my dad later maybe after they spoke with him, as a young guy, when you get pregnant, maybe you get a woman pregnant, you are not interested and all that. So my dad actually later, he came around. Then I still remember, I can't really remember exactly the age right now, but I remember when my grandmom, my uncle, and my dad, they came to Ariele, which is after Ariele, you get to Auchi. They came to my grandparents' house to take me to their side. Then I can still remember very well, I was crying. They took me to Auchi. Then from Auchi, my grandma took me to Benin. You know, so according to them, then my dad was living in Ajakuta. You know, so when I went to Benin, I was with my cousins, my grandma, my grandpa. My granddad is late now. May he so rest in peace. He's one of the person that I respect so much. He did a lot for me, you know, him and my grandma. So at the end of the day, like after a few years, maybe I was 8 now. Then I think I came to Benin when I was like 6 or 7. I can't really remember exactly the age, but I know when I was 8, my dad came with a lady he wanted to marry and all that, which is my stepmom. He later married my stepmom. Then my dad now came with a good intention. He would like to take me to Ajakuta so that I would grow up with his kids and all that. You know what I'm saying? So which they gave me to him and all that. That is another story I don't want to remember. You know, in Africa, people don't really know what people go through. Are you aware that till today, I'm still alive, my stepmother is alive. It's only my dad that is not alive, and my auntie we call our big mommy, may her soul rest in peace. You know, nobody have ever asked me, what did you really went through then? Bro, I went through hell. When I mean hell, when I was in my father's house, when he came to pick me up, my stepmother treated me like a garbage just because of this and having a child first. I'm the first child, right? So if I take off my clothes, when you see my mark till tomorrow, I still have all those scars all over my body, you know? So my stepmother maltreated me so badly that I have to run away at age 9. You know, I still remember like going to Grand Tomatoes. I came back with the tomatoes just because my stepmother was always looking for a way to make my dad to beat me up. Then I came back with the tomatoes very well. She have to pour that tomatoes away. I told my dad that was the highest. She told my dad beat me with this electric wire. That is the mark that is still on my body right now. Even if you will allow me, I can even show you, or you can take a picture of it later. I still have all the mark. Guess what? When I went to school, my principal then, or teacher, was like, what happened? I have to lie that I got an accident. He said, oh my God, you had an accident and you still came to school, you were like this. You need to see my body, man. So it was something I will never forget. That was when I said, boom, I'm going to run away. Yeah,
I can't stand this anymore. I can't take this anymore.
I'm telling you, man, like I'll be sleeping at night. My stepmother will wake me up and say, oh, I saw you in my dream. You are the one that is making my younger brother cry. They have just one child then. You know, man, they will beat me up. My dad and her, like, pastor, there is one pastor called Brother Pius. He's still alive. He have to travel the way from Benin to Ajakuta, you know, to come and like talk to my dad and all that. Oh my God, I went through hell on that part. I will never forget. If it was abroad, they would be like, you need to see a doctor. That was abuse. I'm telling you, I was so abused that I told myself I will never get married. I was so scared of women. I thought every woman, they were all the same.
Oh you know, God.
On that very day, I ran away. They were not around. I said, man, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to die. Any little thing, she would threaten me. If your dad refused to send you away, I will make sure one day I will kill you. I will do that. I was scared. Bro, I was just 9 years old now. You know? So on that day, they were not around. I went to my father's room. I saw some money there. I can still remember. I picked 20 naira from it. I took my luggage. When I got to the gates, Ajakuta is kind of a place where that they have the same building like Europe, America, and Canada, right? That side. So there was a gate, the main entrance. The gate man was like, where are you going? I said, he said, no, you can't go, because he saw me with suitcases, right? So I have to go back. I dropped the suitcases. I was able to pass through the bush. I can still remember very well. I traveled all the way from my home to the park, from where we live. to the park. From the park, I take a car going to Okene. Then, so they were so scared. You are so young. Where are you going to? I said, but I know where I'm going to. Then I traveled from Okene to Auchi, from Auchi to Ariele. The driver was supposed to drop me at the park. He insisted. He said, no.
Take you home because you're too small.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I must. It was like,
I want to see your parents.
Exactly. Do you know where?
Because that's the culture in Africa.
Said, where are you going? I want to be sure you know where you are going. I said, I know. The driver took me to my grandfather's house. I can still remember. It's like something still on my head.
Yeah, of course, the memory will just be there.
I'm telling
forever.
you, bro. Then I went there. They all came out. The driver said, no, stay inside.
Let me go and find out if it's the truth.
Yeah.
What you are saying is true.
Yeah.
It's a kind of cross-check, fast-check.
Oh, my God. My grandmother came out. People came out. I came out from the car. The driver hold my hands and said, do you guys know this guy?
Yes.
They said, yes. He's our grandson. The mother is not around. The mother is in Ewu. We have to reach out to come. Blah, 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 blah. So the man gave me change. The change he gave me, he tied it. I can still remember with coins. Hand over the money to my grandma and hand over me to my grandma. So that was how they reached my mom. My mom came in, tried to reach there was a land phone then, reach my uncle who is in Auchi. So my uncle who's in Auchi now reached my dad. Like 2 days time or so, my dad came in without my uncle, and even my uncle is in Canada right now. They came, they were like, oh, I explained everything. So my uncle is in Canada right now told me he was going to go travel with me to Ajakuta back, and he's going to talk to my dad. Then we went back. He actually spoke with my dad and told my dad, you can't be treating a guy like this because your wife says so and all that. I can still remember all this. I'm telling you, man. So my dad was kind of changed. Stop like believing what she says and all that. At the end of the day, my stepmother will not be the one threatening me. Since your dad will not believe me, I'll make sure one day I'll poison you. I will do that. I'm telling you, man. Then I told my dad, I said, I have to go back. It's time to go to my mom. I don't want to die here. The moment my stepmom threatened me with food, I stopped eating their food, man. I stopped eating them. After like 4 days, I refused to eat. That was when my dad said, I don't want you to die in my house. Then I can personally take you back to your mom. That is what you want. I said, yeah, that is what I've always wanted because I'm not safe yet. That is how my dad took me back to Ariele, at Auchi, my grandpa's house. That is how they hand over me to my mom. Then I lived with my mom for just a few time. My grandmother insisted. My grandmother came. My grandmother is one person that I respect so much because the first time I met her in person, even as a child, I saw that love in her. She loved me so much, bro. I must tell you the truth, So that was how my grandmother took me in with excitement, took me back to Benin again, So from Benin, from Benin, now took me to the village to go and live with them in the village. So I was living with them in the village. Then my auntie, may her soul rest in peace, who we call Big Mommy. So she came to a village and took me to Benin and all that. It's a really long story, bro, but it was not really easy growing up. I was the kind of person, even still going back to them then, they will be like, oh, you are stubborn and all that. They will not say they are tired of me. They will send me back to my mom. My mom will say I'm tired. She will send me back. But let me tell you, this I'm stubborn they were all saying then was like, you look for my trouble, I beat you up. You know what I'm saying? But that stubborn they keep saying is, as a student, like you have your friends, when someone messed up with you and your guys, you beat them up and all that. I was at the end of the day, I was just protecting myself. Then they were calling it stubborn and all that. So I am the only person in my family, I can boldly say that, did not have that good upbringing that will come back home and say, hi dad, hi mom, No, I was changing schools all over the places. When I go to my mom, I will have to change school again, go to my dad. But there was something I told myself, bro. At that 9 years old, I told myself I was going to change my next generation. I'll make sure that they live a good life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of all this, there was a time in Benin, me and my cousin, his name is Starley. I respect him so much as well. One thing I respect so much about him then, we were living together because of circumstances, but he will make sure if he need to buy food credit for us to cook, he has friends. You know, I was selling pure water. I sold gala at night. When others are sleeping, I have to sell gala to be able to get money to spend in school. When my mates are in school, I'm in school when they're buying ice cream so that we also have money to buy. You know what I do? When I close from school, I will go and sell pure water at where they play soccer at UBTH. Then there is a feed there. Then at night, I will go and sell gala where this big luxurious box, they are coming from Lagos. They are going to East. They have to branch Benin. You know, I was doing all that just to be able to clothe myself, help myself and all that. You know, I was really playing soccer so well. So I told myself, well, I was going to like play soccer and all that. I keep pushing. At the end of the day, I gathered some money, somebody introduced me to one man was supposed to take me to Europe. The man dumped us in Egypt. I came back, it was all messed up. Nobody even want to see me again. I have to relocate to Lagos to my uncle. From there, I met a brother who you know, Dan Victor, that we all came to Gambia. So me and Dan Victor, we first of all went to Asia, we went to Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia. We toured those places. That place was not good, man. So we decide we are going to Gambia. How Gambia came to our mind was like, we typed on Google like West Africa country that speak English, right? That's how we got Gambia. We later went to Gambia through road. It was not easy. That's where you also know me. You know what happened in Gambia? It was like, let me not say it's hair, but because Gambia has blessed us so much, you know, but it was not what we were thinking. You know what I'm saying? But we got there, we saw what people were doing, then we joined them, tried to make sure we survive. Even in Gambia there, you know, we find out that this is what people were doing. You have to like find a woman, white, all those people to survive. You know, we went online, we were doing it as well. I was the first person there to have a credit card. That's what my first woman I got there was for Netherlands. She sent me a credit card that was now opening site, Afro introduction for people. A lot of people traveled before me, but I keep pushing. I told God I was not going to give up. I was just praying, Lord, if you can help me travel out of this country, I will go and work with my hands and all that. I can still remember 2007. I got two women who were coming the same time. I have to give one to a friend, who that friend later traveled. He was not telling people he used me and all that, you know. So I help a lot of friends. You know, I will go online when they see me on video, they say, oh, I'm too young. Then I will get them on other people, I'm mature. A lot of people travel, they forgot me, but I never gave up, bro. Just like you. At the end of the day, here we are. God make it possible, answered my prayer, you know. So the moment God picked my call, He made things happen within few years, you know.
Yes, when God pick your call, I always like that word when you use it. You know, before coming to this section, we talked about when God pick your call.
I'm telling you.
You know, the reason for this interview, this connect, this brother man now lives, you know, in Canada. He's a Canadian citizen. To be precise. Just this program is to inspire those people out there, being it in Gambia or wherever you are in Africa, that yes, you can actually be genuine, you can actually be real, and you can be where you want to be in this life.
I'm telling you, man.
That's all you need to do. Just be focused and stay put and do the right thing. talking about Gambia, I know you were talking about try to get how you can ends meet and everything. Can you tell us your experience in Gambia?
Oh man, I did a lot. I would say number one, I did not really suffer so much the way I saw others. They went through there. So when I came to Gambia, I can still remember that night when I make a call to Victor. May he so rest in peace, my beloved guy who you know. He passed away January 2024. He's still in my heart and I will love him forever. When I make a call to him, we were supposed to come together. When we arrived Ghana, somehow somebody do pause. We have to go back. He was scared to take the risk again. Then I came before him. Then he later came with other of my friends after a few days. Somehow I went to an African shop, which I tried to introduce myself. I was begging the man, I want to sleep on your shop. That shop there, they call the man Pa Yusuf in London Corner. So I remember that night very well.
Around the Tipper Garage, London Corner.
Yes,
area.
London Corner, precisely. So I met a man at the border who really took me all the way. He called the guy. I forgot that guy's name now. I told the guy, there is a Nigerian guy here with me. You always talk about Nigeria. You are in Nigeria. So the guy spoke with me. The first thing he told me was, his name is Ernest. I'll never forget. Yeah, Ernest. Ernest was like, they gave me phone. Ernest was like, bro, what thing you can't do for here? Yeah, not be ammo. This. I said, bro, at least.
Where is Ernest today?
He's still there.
Oh, that's why. Because this perception you have about the place.
He's still there.
Oh my God. The perception you have about a place, if you say this place is blessed, it will bless you.
That is it.
If you're not confident about the place will never bless you because the word is powerful.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
He's still
said
there.
This place no be am.
He said, oh boy, I can still remember. And I repeat his word. He said, bro, what thing you can't do for Gambia?
Oh no.
Gambia not be ammo.
Oh no, that means Gambia is not it.
I'm telling you, man. I say, bro, not be that one be the issue now. You feel carry me go anywhere that they play ball, anything, I be footballer, and that's the reason the man was calling you, because I'm also a footballer.
Yes.
The NS now said, okay, just give me a few minutes. I'm on my way. I'm coming to pick you. Before the NS actually, the man caught somebody else who he said he always talk about Nigerians. That is in Nigeria. That guy said he was coming to pick me first. That guy switched off his phone. The guy did not show up. That was when the man remembered, oh, you said you are a footballer. I said yes. He said, okay, I know one footballer. That was when he called them.
Ernest, is it the fair one? The tall fair one that
he's tall.
Is it the fair one that now the supporters club?
I don't know what he really do now, but he was tall. Ernest now said he's coming for me after just saying, oh, this is not the right. Ernest came for me truly, but Ernest told me he was having problem with his landlord. He can't take me to his house and all that. But he would take me. I said, okay, is there any shop I can actually go to where I can sleep? I said, in fact, I have not even eaten. That was when he took me to Pa Yusuf shop, not just far away from there. We got there. We bought food, we ate, and I spoke with the man. The man is from Benin. I said, I'm from Edo, because they said both Isha, everybody Edo is Edo. Exactly. So after we finished eating, the man said he's going to leave the money for food for me. I don't need to pay, but I can't sleep in his shop because some people he helped before and all that. I started crying. I was like, oh, I'm different. It's just to sleep. And said he's coming to pick me tomorrow morning to take me to the field. It's on Saturday tomorrow. Maybe I will see somebody that I know since I'm a footballer. All those kind of stuff, right? So the man refused. Then suddenly he started speaking, making calls. Start calling, speaking Benin. I understood everything. He was telling them, oh, this guy is originally from Isha. He's not even Benin, but the other one was like, can you just call Omokachi? You know Omokachi now?
Yeah.
That is my father, my everything in Gambia.
Omokachi is not, I think he's the vice president of Nigerian community in Gambia right now. So
okay.
Yeah, so, I know Omokachi very well.
That is how they called Omokachi somehow. Somebody OZ, I will never forget him. He's in Nigeria now, so he's into military. So OZ pushed his bicycle with me, pushed me to Omokachi's shop. I can still remember the words that guy said, Omokachi. Oh my God. He said, what is your name? I said, my name is Prince. He was like, clean your eyes, stop crying. So long I live in Gambia, you will never lack food to eat. You will not lack where to stay. I'm telling you, man. He said, let's go home. He took me home. He was living in 2-bedroom. He was like, I've never heard people I've heard people a lot, but I've not bring anybody to my place. You know, the other room, nobody is there. It's kind of dirty. You can sleep in the living room. Tomorrow, clean it up. That's your room. Bro, that's how I started life. I was going to the shop with him. Really, the next day he took me to the field. Omokachi took me to the field. I saw guys that I know who were playing soccer in Lagos. You know, they wanted me to go with them. I went to their room. I find out that, boy, they are living in one small room, no light. I said, no, I can't live with you guys. I have where I'm living, you know. So that is how I was with Omokachi, pushing. We were renting DVD. This Nigerian movie.
Yeah, in a sachet.
Exactly. That's what we were doing. Then later he changed business and say, I want you to pack all this, switch to business and say, I want you to pack all this CD. I want you to start your own. That's how I went to rent a shop. Then I started doing my own business and all that. It was not easy. We were still like looking for a way forward, going to the internet, trying to find someone to assist us and all that, you know. So it was not really easy, trust me. You know, a lot of people laughed back home. You end up in Gambia, where are you now? And all that. At the end of the day, we keep pushing. I just believe in God, you know. Before I later met this beautiful Gambia girl, which is my wife.